All right, let's talk about something that honestly affects every single one of us. I don't care if you're a cybersecurity expert or if you just use a computer to look up recipes online. We're talking about social engineering. Just take a second and think about this. Have you ever gotten one of those calls, the kind that feels, I don't know, a little too urgent? Or maybe an email that just seemed a bit off? It could have been something exactly like this. You get this polite voice on the phone, but it immediately sets off alarm bells, right? And they're pushing you, trying to get you to confirm info you know you shouldn't just give out. Or what about this one? An email that looks so real, like it's from your favorite delivery company, and it's asking you to track a package. The only problem? You never ordered anything. If any of this is ringing a bell, then yeah, you've already had a run-in with what we're talking about today. See, this isn't your classic Hollywood-style hacking. We're not talking about someone breaking code or smashing through a server. No, this is something different. It's a very specific kind of manipulation. It's called social engineering. All right, let's really get into this, because this right here is the absolute core of why these attacks are so devastatingly effective. They're not hacking computers, they're hacking people. So what is it really? Simply put, social engineering is the art of manipulation. The attacker isn't trying to smash down the digital door. Nah, they're trying to trick you, the person with the key, into just opening it for them. They bypass all the fancy tech by going straight for the human. And that's exactly why this has become like the go-to method for so many attackers. I mean, think about it. Breaking through a company's high-tech security, that's hard. That takes serious skill. But convincing a person who's busy, maybe a little distracted, or just trying to be nice, way, way easier. And this is where you really see the split. Traditional hacking, that's machine versus machine. It's all about finding flaws in the code. But social engineering, that's human versus human. It's not about software bugs. It's about exploiting human bugs. Our trust, our fear, our curiosity, to get us to turn off our own brains for a second. So, the big question is, how do they actually pull this off? Well, let's open up the attacker's playbook. Because once you see the plays they run, you're already halfway to building a defense. And trust me, they've got a whole bag of tricks. Okay, the one you've probably all heard of is phishing, with a PH. This is like their shotgun approach. They blast out thousands, maybe millions of generic messages. They pretend to be your bank, some social media site, a package delivery service, anything. They're just casting this massive net, hoping to catch a few people. And almost every time, these messages have this crazy sense of urgency. Your account is about to be blocked. Click now. They want to create panic. The whole goal is to scare you so much that you act first and think later. They need you to click that link before the logical part of your brain has a chance to go, wait a minute.
But then there's the much scarier version, spear phishing. So if regular phishing is a shotgun, spear phishing is a high-powered sniper rifle. Here, the attacker does their homework. They target you specifically. They'll find out where you work, who your boss is, what projects you're on, and use that info to craft a message that is spookily convincing. This is where you get things like CEO fraud, an email that seems to be from the boss, telling accounting to wire thousands of dollars right now, no questions asked.
Then you've got baiting. This one is all about playing on our natural human curiosity. The classic example, an attacker just drops a USB stick in the company parking lot, but they label it something juicy like executive salaries 2024. They are literally betting that someone's curiosity will get the better of them, that they'll pick it up, take it inside, and plug it into their computer. And boom, that's all it takes. And the list just goes on and on. It's not just digital stuff either. You've got pretexting, where they make up an entire fake story to sound legit. You've got vishing and smishing. That's just phishing over your voice or SMS texts. And then there's physical stuff, like tailgating, which is literally just following someone through a secure door before it closes. The playbook is huge, and it's always changing. Okay, so we've seen the how, but maybe the most important part is the why. Why do these simple tricks actually work so well? What are the psychological buttons they're pushing? Because, again, it's not about the tech. It's about how we're wired as human beings. The number one weapon in their arsenal? Trust. We're just hardwired to trust people in authority, to trust big institutions like our bank. Attackers know this, so they pretend to be those people, those organizations, and they take advantage of our natural instinct to believe.
Next up, they use fear. You get a message saying your account is getting shut down or you're in some kind of trouble, and it triggers that lizard brain, fight or flight response. And when we're in that state, we act fast, we act impulsively, which is exactly what they're counting on.
And of course, there's good old-fashioned curiosity. Come on, be honest. You see a file labeled photos from the company party? Aren't you a little tempted? Or a link that says see who's been looking at your profile? That's a powerful urge, and they know just how to use it to get us to let our guard down.
And here's the really wild part. They can even weaponize our kindness, our desire to just be helpful. You get a message from a colleague who says they're locked out and need your help, and a really well-meaning person can accidentally give away the keys to the entire kingdom just trying to do a nice thing.
You know, this quote just hits the nail on the head. The attackers create this perfect storm of emotions. A little trust, a lot of fear, some curiosity, and a ton of urgency. And when you're in the middle of that storm, clear thinking just goes out the window. Because panic is it's a terrible advisor.
Okay, so we've pulled back the curtain on their playbook. Now for the good news. Let's talk about how to fight back. Because if the human is the target, that means the human is also the best line of defense. It's time to build your own firewall, not for your computer, but for your brain.
And you don't need a PhD in computer science for this. Here's your 5-step plan. Step 1, just be skeptical. Start from a place of healthy distrust for any weird, unexpected request. Step 2, verify. Always. If the bank calls you, just hang up, and then call them back using the number on their actual website or on the back of your card. Never ever use the number they gave you. Step 3, and this one is so important, slow down. They want you to panic. Don't give them that satisfaction. Just take a breath. Step 4, guard your info. The less you share about yourself online, the less ammo they have to use against you. And finally, step 5, think before you click. If it feels weird, if it feels too good to be true, if it makes your stomach clench, just assume it's a trap, because it probably is.
And that's really the bottom line here. Yeah, they're targeting our human weaknesses, for sure. But a human who is aware, who is vigilant, that is the strongest defense on the planet. Your brain, when it's switched on, is more powerful than any antivirus software you can buy.
So, I'm just going to leave you with this one final thought. We spend all this time, all this money, putting up firewalls and technical defenses on our computers. But after all this, the real question you have to ask yourself is, your computer has a firewall. Do you?